Hi everyone, I'm Astha Gulati, the founder of Connect with Ru and Dhuri, and welcome to our third episode of the podcast. Today's topic actually needs no introduction, so I'm just going to throw it out here. Is there such a thing as toxic people? And if there is, then what can we do? So, in this podcast, I'm going to be covering a few things. Of course, understanding what toxic people are all about, and I'm going to be sharing with you my own personal journey with so called toxic people. And is there really a need to keep them away? So, yeah, let's begin. Okay, so I'm going to begin with my own story. So, for those of you who don't know, I'm also a dancer, a choreographer. And back in the day when I was in college, in school, I had a dance guru and she taught me so much. And of course, there was a bit of toxicity there in the sense of there was competition, there was jealousy, there was this whole thing of taking me up to the top and then dropping me from there, what we also popularly now know as gaslighting. Back then, of course, we didn't know this. And one fine day, I decided that yes, it's time to put this toxicity behind me and I need to walk away. So I said, this is it, and I walked away. I walked away from from my career there. I walked away from the teacher and all of that. So yes, I walked away from a toxic person, so called. And starting my new chapter after 4-5 years, I attract a similar situation in my business partner. Similar things where I would get told that I'm a certain way, and then the whole insecure game would start, and then I would be put down, and the cycle just continued. And then I was like, okay, then I walked away from that as well. I closed my business, I walked away from my friend, and yeah, I walked away from a toxic person. Till one fine day I realized, what the hell am I doing? Is the problem really these so-called toxic personalities? Is there really such thing as a toxic person? Or is it your own need to go through a certain experience that these people are simply playing a role to give you that? Let me give you an example or an analogy. Think about a dustbin, okay? Now, if you've placed the dustbin in the house, actually, isn't it vital? Isn't it required? Imagine a house without a dustbin. I don't think there's any house that exists without a dustbin, does it? So it's important, but it takes all our trash. Now, if you put this dustbin right in your bedroom, in the center of your bed, isn't it a nuisance? That's exactly what the so-called toxic people are. It's not them that is the problem. It is the position we give them in our lives that becomes a problem. It is our need for experience that is the problem. And the answer is not, I repeat, it is not by walking away from this so-called toxicity, because everything that has been made in this life has a time, has a place, has a reason. You cannot compartmentalize anyone as being toxic. They are simply playing their part in giving you a certain experience that you have asked for. When you understand that, you will stop attracting this experience of toxicity so that you could have learned it the hard way. When you let go of the need to learn things the hard way, these people stop playing that role. It's really as simple. I kept running and running and running and running, and I just kept attracting the similar pattern till one fine day I stopped running. I was like, okay, let me understand what is going on. And I realized it was my need to play the insecure one. It was my need to grow through insecurity. Because insecurity, I would put myself down, or get the experience of being put down. That would make me stronger, and then I would take the next leap into the next chapter of my life. Oh my God, what a hero I felt like. But really, at the stake of constantly losing people, removing people from my life, because I had the need to grow through being the insecure one. The moment I cracked this game, I stopped running. Now in my life, there is no such thing as a toxic person. Yes, people come and go, I will not lie. But there is a chapter that finishes with them, and sometimes a beautiful new chapter starts. Their roles change in my life, vice versa as well. But the more I kept running away from such people, I realized that it was only isolating me, and that is what our boundaries do. Yes, mental health says that remove toxicity, it's okay to walk away. But the more you do that, you realize that your own boundaries begin to cage you, they trap you. And that is what walking away from toxicity constantly does. I'm not saying don't. Try it for the first time. Okay, fine. Maybe your learning is that you need to stand your ground and learn to say no. And you need to walk away. Great. Done that? If that was your learning, you will not invite another similar toxic pattern in your life. Understand this about life. Once you have mastered that experience changes. If it's not changing, and if you're constantly inviting the same pattern through people, then it's not the people who are to blame. It is you who is not understanding that learning, that pattern, that brilliance that the toxic people are offering. So the question is, how do we deal with toxic people? Well, it's not them that we need to deal with. Understand what it is that they are making you feel. Is it insecure? Is it not good about yourself? Is it helplessness? Is it feeling like a victim? Is it feeling that you're not being heard? Do they create fear in you? And then you need to work on your need to go through that experience. And that experience needs to be rewired. In all probability, you are using that experience to grow in life, which is why we keep attracting these people so that they can give us this experience, because grow we all must. Now, of course, there are therapeutic ways in which you work with this and you rewire your associations of growing in this unhealthy manner of fear, using insecurity, using pain, using hurt, jealousy, competitiveness, because these are all mechanisms that have been taught to us that this is the only way you grow, especially in the corporate world. Think about it. All of these go till you don't slog, till you are not insecure and competitive enough. Yeah, till you don't become thick-skinned and let people talk to you, but still, you don't get affected. These are all things that are taught to us. That's how we can grow, and that's the only way to grow. Well, when you say yes to that belief, there are people who will have to come and fill in that blank, right? And play that role, and that person then gets labeled as being a toxic person. Well, in truth, there is no such thing as a toxic person. It is simply our need for experience for that toxicity, because of which they are playing that role. When you understand that, do you understand the power you get back? Instead of giving them the power is now with you. Use it well. And I hope this helps. I'm sure I might have stirred a few emotions of a few buts and what ifs. Please feel free to write to us at reach.rumi@gmail.com with your questions, with your queries. And if it is something that you would like to work with, please let's work on it together. Yeah, because the answer is not in running away, because when you run away from toxic people, the chase continues. You can change cities, you can change friend circles, and I've done all of this, which is why I'm speaking from experience. It still continues till you understand the game you are playing, and the need for that toxicity goes away, because even in the seeming toxic people, you understand the gift they are offering you. You simply take that gift and their role dissipates. So yeah, that's me for today. Thank you so much.